The fact that more people are playing Witcher 3 Wild Hunt right now than Doom Dark Ages, the game that came out just a few days ago, is completely blowing my mind. Despite this game being a purely single player game, and despite this game being 10 years old now, it's getting just more and more and more players. But how and why? We all know that this is a good game. We all know that we absolutely love it. We all know that it got multiple Game of the Years back in the day. But what is it in here that makes people to play more and more of it, despite it not having any new content for years now? And I actually narrowed this down to 5 different reasons why this game is still alive and kicking, and why most likely it will be alive and kicking at least until Witcher 4 release, and probably far later after that. And without going around and giving you a bunch of BS of how amazing this game is, the reason number 1, the most important reason why this game is so strong to this day, is of course the price. How much I will tell you how amazing this game is, the number 1 reason why more and more people are playing this is because how affordable it has become. And not just game price wise, but starting with this, game is incredibly easy to get into because it's incredibly cheap. How cheap? To get this game on Steam today, all you need to do is just to pay $4. And in some regions, including mine, you can buy it as cheap as just $2. This game has become so cheap that now it's much easier to just go and buy this game and play it than to pirate it. It's much less of a headache to do so. And because of this, it has opened the door to the most amount of players it can possibly get into. More than that, it can only get if it will become completely free to play, which, yeah, it won't, of course. It's a giant open world game that costs dirt cheap, and because of its age, it's also really easy to run as well. Any PC that was released in the past 10 years and that was moderately powerful within this time period can run this game. Desktops, gaming laptops, and even gaming handhelds can easily run this game, and it will look absolutely gorgeous on basically anything. If Nintendo Switch can run it, anything can run it. And speaking of looking gorgeous, the reason number 2 is its graphics. Yes, graphical fidelity plays a huge role while playing in older games, and this game does not look like an older game. Despite being released 10 years ago, a decade ago, this game looks absolutely gorgeous by the modern standards. And it even looks better than many, if not the most, of today's AAA releases. And if you think that it doesn't, you're just fooling yourself and you're trying to be like cool or something. This game looks gorgeous. It looks gorgeous on consoles with the complete edition and next-gen updates, and of course it looks gorgeous on a PC. Then yeah, despite us gamers telling that graphics does not matter that much, it still matters when you're getting yourself into new games. You just want the game look way better than otherwise. It's just how the brain works. We are attracted to the shiny thing, and The Witcher 3 is absolutely shiniest of them all. This game looks like a really nice aged wine, and it's absolutely gorgeous looking. And especially it's gorgeous looking on a PC. Because of its, well, literally not having any restrictions on resolution, on frame rate, it looks absolutely stunning on 4K 60 or even 4K 120 FPS, even though you don't really need high frame rates for this game. I'm pretty sure there is someone who ran this game on 8K as well. But there is one more reason why this game looks especially good on a PC. And this is also another reason why this game is so long living, and of course it's mods. This game is also having a lot of mod support from a lot of dedicated players and mod builders. And mods usually extend the game's lifespan beyond of what's possible on regular AAA releases. And even though most mods in this game is cosmetic, it is making game look just better. It's not all. And even though cosmetic mods work absolutely gorgeously, transforming this game into something completely different looking and very beautiful looking as well, it's also different gameplay additions and tweaks that has been added into the game with mods that transforms it into really long playing, long lasting beast. New weapons, new armor, new type of magic, replays and overhauls of gameplay systems, and even completely new quests added by the modders themselves make this game infinitely replayable. There are mods releasing basically constantly for this game, and even though for the past few years it has slowed down a little bit, it's still quite a lot of things to completely reshape the game in any way that you want to replay it in completely different manner. And speaking of gameplay, it is one of the more controversial parts, but I think that gameplay is the reason of the longevity of this game as well. Even though by the modern standard, a lot of players think that this game does not hold up really well, and yeah, if you're comparing this to something like Elden Ring and other Souls-likes, this game isn't cutting it, but still it is absolutely easy to get into into and quite easy to master as well. Yeah, unless you're playing on very high difficulties, this game's combat looks absolutely beautiful. Yes, I said that. And even though I know that it's very floaty and not very precise, and camera movements is not always the best, and combat is not the best all of the time, it's still easy to get into. The ability to add and enhance your combat with different oils and with different alchemies, potions, and with magic as well makes it quite easy to get into and quite easy to master, and that's why people tend to return to it, because people tend to return to something that is familiar and easy for them. They know that they can easily beat any monster in this game. Not way too easily, but it just looks a bit difficult, yet it's still quite easy. And this thing just makes people to return for more and more and more and more and play for hundreds of hours. And I think this is one of the reasons as well, but probably one of the most important reasons, at least the reason why Witcher 3 is absolutely unbeatable game till the end of the time, is the game's world. First things first is its uniqueness, because yeah, the Slavic folklore looks absolutely beautiful and completely different from anything else that we've seen in other high fantasy games. But the second one, most important, is immersion of the world. How beautiful it is just to walk around and exist in this world. Yes, even the world is absolutely cruel and full of death and destruction and unjustness and unfairness. The beautiful moments that you will catch in this world is absolutely second to none. Just walking around in the fields and seeing how grass moves with the wind and how you can hear this wind blowing in your ears, especially if you're wearing the headphones, how this beautiful and absolutely gorgeous ambient music is playing in the background, how you can hear the bustling cities in the distance, or crackling of the woods or howling of animals is absolutely gorgeous. This immersion makes you fall in love with the world with the first few minutes when you get into the game, and it grips you and holds you, and it's not letting you go. And as you play and progress through the game, it just enhances even more and more and more, because from White Orchard you move to War-Torn Velen, that looks completely different from White Orchard and still is beautiful in its own way. Then you move to the Novigrad, the bustling city that is also different in its own way and beautiful as well. Then you move to Skellige, which is completely different as well, with its hardness and cold rigidness. Well, then you also move to Toussaint, which is completely different change of atmosphere and change of pace from the Skellige. And this jumping from one place to another and still retaining this beauty and this immersion just keeps you wanting more and more of it. And this also ties in with the first reason, the price, because while you just bought the game, you will play hundreds of hours playing this game, during which another sale will start and another few thousand players join in who will continue playing with you until the next sale. Then more will join you and you will be continuing to play throughout a few sales, and you will quickly realize that you are one of the tens of thousands of people who are playing this game all the time. And the funniest thing, that the least amount of players that this game has was in 2016, just a year after this game release, and since then the average player count has been steadily growing, and that is the reason why it's happening like that. And with the release of absolutely beautiful expansions and DLCs that solidify the power and quality of the game, and the imminent release of Witcher 4, and of course a little bit with the shows as well, this game has become a powerhouse that not a lot of game devs and not a lot of studios can defeat. Just players just keep loving it and they just keep playing it because it's that good. And even though it's not flawless, it has a lot of flaws. Nothing is without its flaws, and this flaws makes it a bit different for you than to the next player. So yes, if you haven't played Witcher 3 yet, don't fool yourself and postpone it for later. Get it now, especially if it's on a sale. You're gonna enjoy it a lot and you're gonna love every single second of it. And this video is sponsored by channel's partner and supporter, Instant Gaming. If you want best games for the best prices all the time, all year round, without waiting for any sales, Instant Gaming is the way to go. You can find all types of games for all the different platforms, and most importantly for the cheapest prices possible. And I also partner with Instant Gaming for epic game giveaway of your choice. So click the link in the description down below for your chance to win. Thanks to Instant Gaming for their support, and now let's get back to the video. And if you prefer something very similar but in a little bit of modern or other futuristic gameplay, you can watch my review of Cyberpunk 2077 right here. Or if you prefer, again, medieval fantasy review, and or again, if you prefer medieval fantasy setting, there is always Elder Scrolls Oblivion Remastered right here. Don't forget to subscribe right here as well. This has been for today, and I'm gonna see you in the next one. Take care.